Hello everyone, my name is Boing Boing. In this video, we will turn this tier 1 archer from this into this. The attack will have all 6 elements in Age of Wonders, and I call this Rainbow Archer build. I will be testing this theory on brutal difficulty. Please enjoy the show. Spoiler alert, I will not be using any tier 3 and above units. The realm I will be playing will have no water tiles, made of mostly deserts. Its live inhabitants will be mostly giant, limited space underground, and unfriendly locals who hate the Empire Force. And lastly, the difficulty will be on brutal. My units will have increased accuracy with range attack, bonus to critical if they stand together. I'll be playing on high culture factions, and their society will be Chosen Destroyer and Prolific Swarmers. My first tomb will be Tome of the Horde. As for my leader, I'll be Wizard King. At the final screen, I just need to make sure I select the bow as a weapon. When the game starts, the first thing I check is the unit I get from Prolific Swarmer Society traits are Archer and not Melee. I zoom out to have a look at the world map to see my current locations. Thankfully, it's not at dead center. I queue up the production of my choice, which is Vendor and Archer. And here is where I made my first mistake. I forgot to put Whisper Stone to my city, which was later pointed out by chat. Lucky for me, Spawn King's spell showed up first on my research. It is a real good minor ratio enchantment that does not require any upkeep. With town management out of the way, I let my army get busy with surrounding critters. Experience is precious resource and I need to farm it. On level up, the very first skill I get on my leader is Twin Awakened. Awaken buff is very important for high culture archers because it gives them the increased bonus to accuracy, range and spirit damage. Before I find my first infestation camp, I decide to hurry my archer production because I need the extra hands to deal with this fight. After the fight, my leader leveled up and I decide to take the sprint as my second skill. In my opinion, sprint is a real good skill for a ranged hero because it allows them to get away from enemy melees without trigger attack of opportunity and still have 3 actions after 1 hex move. My scout continued to scout the eastern side of my empire and found another infestation camp, which is too large for me to fight, and later spotted the first free city, which will be my first victim later on. Taking a deeper look into its army, yeah, it is too much for me to chew on. So instead of focus on the east, I swing my army around and neutralize the infestation west of my border. I finally obtained the very first important skill for my empire, upkeep reduction for tier 1 unit. This does stack with Prolific Swarmer's bonus. Do remember upkeep reduction will never pass 50%. After clearing out the infestation camp, I pick up a nearby creature cage and got a free melee unit. It is going to be very useful when I put free city to the swords. Right before I return to the eastern front, I decide to clear out a nearby creature camp and got a level out of it. There is not much options to pick, so I pick archery. And before I siege the free city, I hurry productions to get more archers, since I have hauled up quite a bit of gold. During the siege, I noticed 1 stack of units just left their post and went rogue. I followed the red mark and found an army outside of this town, all alone. So I took the opportunity to attack it without second thought. This is a common tactic called divide and conquer. There is not much interesting happening in the fight other than the AI hero charged straight into my kill zone and got shot down without any backup. I took some minor injuries from the fight, but that does not stop the siege. When the fight starts, and this is where I realized I made a mistake. I pick a head-on assault for my siege project and it caused all my units to take a HP hit, so my force will have a lot damage penalty before the fight even begins. Instead of charging straight in and fight enemies with wall between us, I relocate my army to the right, where his armies are the weakest. My tactic for siege is not fight the enemy head-on, and instead I'll try to force the AI to come out instead. One good way is to nuke them with spells and take out one of their units first, but that failed because my casualty penalties are pretty bad due to head-on assault from siege project, so I am unable to kill the battle mage up on the wall in 1 turn. During the retaliation, I took a full AoE hit. One of my archer on the flank took another hit from second battle mage, and that is the first casualties in this series. The moment I took out their battle mage on the wall, the AI decided to charge on me with all their units. Upon close inspection, our enemy healers are alone on the right side, totally out of position, so I took the opportunity to focus fire on it with all my archers. On the following turn, I have to make a very careful decision. I need to kill the enemy hero while keeping my archers out of battle mage range because I know one AoE will wipe out all my precious archers. And the AI did the unexpected. The battle mage caused friendly fire just to deal damage to 2 of my melee, which leads to their death. I'm not overly concerned because melees are disposable. From this point on, the battle is just a cleanup. First, I avenge my dead units while trying to keep distance from the angry mage by staying out of his range of attack, and that concludes the siege. I lost 2 melee and 1 archer in the siege, but I think it is a good fight overall. On my way back to the capital, a group of mob from the infestation camp decide to ambush my retreating army. Not gonna lie, this fight makes my hand really sweaty, mostly because all my archers are dealing minimum amount of damage due to low HP. But I just need to make sure the level 2 spider go down ASAP because it is able to leap to the back line and one-shot my injured archers. My first contact with the Empire. I will deal with you soon enough. I finally finished my first book research, so I picked Tome of Horde as follow-up. Divine Prison are the most overpowered spell in the game, and it is a must pick for brutal difficulty. And I got lucky and poison arrows show up, so I researched it and cast it as soon as possible. After raising down the city, I have good amount of income, so I decided to recruit my second and third hero. Do remember this is one city challenge, so I need to pay 30 gold upkeep for every hero I recruit. Now that my alignment finally reached evil, my first 3 turns of the battle, all my units and heroes will have awaken buff, which is a really good for military victory. And of course, AI just love to erect outposts and new cities around my capital, which is a good news for me because I can just raise it down for more income. With my force all healed up and replaced, I am finally able to clear out the eastern infestation camp. Only thing I need to do is relocate myself, so I take one chunk at a time to reduce casualties. It is the most useless watchtower I ever found in all the 4X I played in the past. The banner is the best pickup you can find in the open. I cherry pick archers who have champion medals, so when they pick up the banner, they'll be in legendary rank. The legendary medals for archers are probably the best thing that can happen to them. It gives them an extra range and accuracy, allow my high culture T1 archers to shoot 7 tiles away. For my tier 2 tomb, I picked Tomb of Amplification because amplified arrow are the must have for the range build. 30% of their damage bounce to another target within 3 hacks is extremely powerful for an enchantment. It is a straight up 30% increased damage. As I relocate my force from east to the south, preparing an invasion, I meet up with a Green Empire. He is just in time to witness a massacre, and with my units in position, I declare a minor justification war against Blue Empire. The first city only got 1 defender and no palisades, so it just went down without a siege. During the siege on the second city, more audience shows up, and the only thing they can do is send me love letters telling me how they dislike my actions of raising down city one after another. On my 4th tomb, I researched Tomb of Inquisition, mostly for Inquisitor Zeal enchantment. It increased my archer's accuracy and gave extra spirit damage bonus. During the siege of the 3rd city, I found a stray stack all by themselves, so I need to make sure they never reinforce a defender. A few turns later, the assault begins. This siege will showcase how my investments into heroes and enchantments are paying off. Fights from now on will be mostly performed by outranged enemy and kill them before they can fight back. And before you know it, their casualty pile up, morale went low, and army routed. Another glorious siege. For my 5th tomb, it will be Tomb of Sanctuary. Keeper's Mark will work with Divine Prison, make it a very powerful combo for brutal difficulty. And I finally met my last empire, Ombre Warbringer. I made this leader on my first game, and the run is nothing but whoa. Instead of going straight for the capital, I went further to the west. At this point, blue is so out of shape he didn't put much of a resistance against my assault. And before I end my 6-hour stream, I decide to hire my 4th hero and use him to clear out some resource knots and infestation mobs that are going for my throne. And if you made it this far, you have my deepest gratitude. I really appreciate you spending the time watching my video, and I will do my best to push out more content in the future. On a side note, when I streamed this video, the upload number in the setting was wrong, which leads to a laggy video when I downloaded it off Twitch. This is why I have to turn this into a slideshow. The lag issue is already fixed, so the video in the future will be more like a video instead. If you like the content, please consider to like and subscribe the video, and I hope you have a good one.